The Department of the Treasury is the national treasury of the federal government of the United States, where it serves as an executive department. The department oversees the Bureau of Engraving and Printing and the U.S. Mint. These two agencies are responsible for printing all paper currency and coins, while the Treasury executes its circulation in the domestic fiscal system. The USDT collects all federal taxes through the Internal Revenue Service, manages U.S. government debt instruments, licenses and supervises banks and thrift institutions, and advises the legislative and executive branches on matters of fiscal policy. The department is administered by the Secretary of the Treasury, who is a member of the Cabinet. The Treasurer of the United States has limited statutory duties, but advises the Secretary on various matters such as coinage and currency production. Signatures of both officials appear on all Federal Reserve notes. Established by an Act of Congress in 1789 to manage government revenue. The first Secretary of the Treasury was Alexander Hamilton, sworn into office on September 11. Hamilton was appointed by President George Washington on the recommendation of Robert Morris, Washington's first choice for the position, who had declined the appointment. Hamilton established the nation's early financial system and for several years was a major presence in Washington's administration. The office is thus customarily referred to as Treasury, solely, without any preceding article, as a remnant of the country's transition from British to American English during the late 18th century. His portrait appears on the obverse of the $10 bill, while the Treasury Department building is depicted on the reverse. The current Secretary of the Treasury is Janet Yellen, who was confirmed by the United States Senate on January 25, 2021. Jovita Carranza, appointed on April 28, 2017, was the incumbent treasurer until January 15, 2020, when she left the office. The history of the Department of the Treasury began in the turmoil of the American Revolution, when the Continental Congress at Philadelphia deliberated the crucial issue of financing a war of independence against Great Britain. The Congress had no power to levy and collect taxes, nor was there a tangible basis for securing funds from foreign investors or governments. The delegates resolved to issue paper money in the form of bills of credit, promising redemption in coin on faith in the revolutionary cause. On June 22, 1775, only a few days after the Battle of Bunker Hill, Congress issued $2 million in bills. On July 25, 28 citizens of Philadelphia were employed by Congress to sign and number the currency. On July 29, 1775, the Second Continental Congress assigned the responsibility for the administration of the revolutionary government's finances to joint Continental Treasurers George Clymer and Michael Hilligers. Congress stipulated that each of the colonies contribute to the Continental government's funds to ensure proper and efficient handling of the growing national debt in the face of weak economic and political ties between the colonies. The Congress, on February 17, 1776, designated a committee of 5 to superintend the Treasury, settle accounts, and report periodically to the Congress. On April 1, a Treasury Office of Accounts, consisting of an Auditor General and clerks, was established to facilitate the settlement of claims and to keep the public accounts for the government of the United Colonies. With the signing of the Declaration of Independence on July 4, 1776, the newborn republic as a sovereign nation was able to secure loans from abroad. Despite the infusion of foreign and domestic loans, the United Colonies were unable to establish a well-organized agency for financial administration. Michael Hilligers was first called Treasurer of the United States on May 14, 1777. The Treasury Office was reorganized 3 times between 1778 and 1781. The $241.5 million in paper Continental bills devalued rapidly. By May 1781, the dollar collapsed at a rate of from 500 to 1,000 to 1 against hard currency. Protests against the worthless money swept the colonies, giving rise to the expression, "not worth a continental." The office has, since the late 18th century, been customarily referred to as the singular Treasury, without any preceding article, as a remnant of the country's transition from British to American English. For example, the department notes its guiding purpose as Treasury's mission, instead of the Treasury's mission. Robert Morris was designated Superintendent of Finance in 1781 and restored stability to the nation's finances. Morris, a wealthy colonial merchant, was nicknamed the financier because of his reputation for procuring funds or goods on a moment's notice. His staff included a controller, a treasurer, a register, and auditors, who managed the country's finances through 1784. When Morris resigned because of ill health, the T.